What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope y'all are having a great day. Today we're gonna do something pretty simple. In the last video we added a 12-volt power outlet so that we had a permanent place for power even when the Jeep wasn't on. And today we're gonna do something pretty simple as well, but something that's a really good addition. I always like to have a fire extinguisher on board. You never know when something's gonna happen, and honestly, when you're out crawling around all day and your engine's getting warm or you're getting an off-camber situation, fluids leak, things hit hot pipes, other things, anything can happen really. And actually, we live in the desert out here, so even just driving off the road into some tall grass can cause an issue. So we're cognizant of that, and that's not going to be the main issue. But what we do want to do is add a fire extinguisher to the rig just in case. It's something that I have in all of my vehicles, and the new JL doesn't have one in there yet. So did a little bit of shopping and found a quick disconnect fire extinguisher holder from Rough Country. I gotta add this too because I'm always impressed. Every time I order something from Rough Country, I feel like it shows up within like 1 to 2 days. It is crazy fast how quick those things get here. So we're gonna check that out today, show you how to install it. We're gonna put it in the back of the rig. So stay tuned, let's get this thing installed. All right, so let's take a little look at what Rough Country has to offer. This thing's pretty simple, which is what we want it to be. We want something that's easy to take in and out, something that's quick to disconnect, and then also something that works in a universal application. You can use this in lots of different ways. If I was just gonna mount this thing inside of, like, let's say the WJ, we might just zip it in with fasteners, with some screws. But what I like about this is that they have included some rubber-coated hose clamps. There's 4 of them in here, which is going to work well, not only to strap the mount to the roll bar, but also to strap the fire extinguisher to the mount itself. So let's go find a good place for this in the back of the JL and see what we can make happen. All right, so this should be a pretty easy install. Hose clamps, pretty simple. We're just gonna wrap them around the tube. Got a couple of little eyelets here. We're just gonna send the hose clamp through that and mount them to the cage. Alright, so that's it. Pretty easy. Couple of hose clamps. You know, like I said, a fire extinguisher, the odds of you needing it, you know, aren't super high, but it's not ever a bad thing to have. And honestly, even if it's not your rig, there's other people out on the trail. Other things go wrong, you know, it can happen at any time. So kind of one of those things, better be safe than sorry. And I've seen it happen too many times You know, even you get on a little bit of a tilt and, you know, fuel leaks or a little bit of oil leaks, it drips onto a hot manifold, and before you know it, something's up in flames. So it doesn't take very long for something like that to happen, and just better to have it with you. And you know, the old saying goes, better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So pretty cool quick release here too. It drops right down, so click your pin open, slide it up in place, click it back. Sturdy, easy, open up, pop out, and you're good to go. So super easy to use. Really like this setup, and it's secure and in place. Now, one thing I didn't show you before I put it in here is there is, let's see, there is like a felt base on the bottom of the base that goes to the roll bar, and it's a little hard to see it in here too. So on the far side, you do have, yeah, you can't get to it. I can't get to it in here because it's just too close quarters, but on the far side here, you've got coating over the straps so they're not getting on the paint. Same thing, there's a coating on this, but the coating on your fire extinguisher doesn't matter too much. Although, I will say they kind of grip it a little bit better too, so it's not sliding out of a hose clamp. So that's it on the fire extinguisher, pretty easy. All you needed was a 7mm socket, or you could use a flathead, but sometimes, I don't know what the deal is with hose clamps and flathead screwdrivers, but it's not always the easiest thing. 7mm hooks right around it, crank those things down, they're good to go. Now, something did just show up in the mail. I wanted to swap out the antenna, and we just got a little something in the mail, so we'll swap that out real quick too. A couple of easy installs and short, quick work. All right, so knocked out the fire extinguisher, and this is super easy. No tools required at all, or at least there shouldn't be. If you need to get a little wrench to get this thing off, you might, but I don't like antennas on just about anything. They're always kind of a nuisance. That comes right off. It seems like it's always loose. We've just got a little 6-inch guy. That's gonna swap in. That's it. Boom. Done. So, not a big deal, but I don't know, the big antenna, I feel like it's always waving around going down the road. It hits stuff, it whacks bushes, it whacks trees, it hits your windshield, stuff like that. This little guy, not gonna go anywhere. Still gonna get reception out of it. Not that we even use the AM/FM radio anyways. My wife still likes it, I guess, that's true. I'm usually using Bluetooth and listening to something, but we still got it on there. It's a little lower profile, like it better than this gigantic thing, and that's done. So, lastly, a couple of packages just arrived here, and we're about to get busy on this stuff. Let's see what we got. So, in preparation to head out on this trip, we've got a ton of stuff here from eTrailer. I'm going to be setting up the Avail tow bar from Blue Ox, as well as this Patriot brake kit. So this is what we're going to use. It is removable in and out. So the deal is that the Avail tow bar, I got a attachment for it. So if you guys are pulling behind or a motorhome, we're thinking about doing that, I'll show you what the Avail tow bar looks like. You can also just look it up. But it's one of the nicer tow bars in terms of pulling the Jeep. The reason I went with the Patriot brake system is because I would like to potentially use it, if I wanted to, on the WJ. And what I got for an attachment was for the D-rings. The tow bar with these specific attachments will let you hook it right to the D-rings. I didn't want to pull the JL with an undermounted system either. I wanted to try to figure out a way to mount it to the bumper. So what showed up today that we're going to get installed, along with the Xeon 10S winch, the Warn winch mounting plate, all going on the factory steel bumper, is this from HK Off-Road. So HK Off-Road, big shout out to Bash. Thanks so much for getting this stuff out so quickly. Bash makes a beefy kit. Check this out here. I'm just unpackaging it for the first time, so man, look at these things. All right, Thing's burly. So Bash makes this kit from HK Off-Road, and this is our D-ring mounting kit. This is going to replace the knockouts in the front of the bumper. So that's the next task here. Made a couple of small things happen today with the fire extinguisher and swapping out the antenna, super minor. Now we're gonna get into a little bit more. We're gonna pull apart the bumper. It's all modular. It's the steel bumper group for the JL. We're gonna pull off the sides. It actually has an aftermarket bull bar on the front of it. Stinger, whatever you want to call it. I'm not a big fan of how it looks. I'm going to pull that off. We're going to get rid of the sides. We're going to mount a Warn Xeon 10S winch on it with the Warn winch mounting plate, and then get these HK Off-Road D-ring mounts on it too. Man, these things are burly. Pumped to get all this stuff installed, but that's it for today. If you want to see more, if you want to check out how this bumper install goes, or you're just interested in the channel overall, I really would appreciate you subscribing. I would appreciate you hitting that like button, and we'll see you next time.